Hi everyone, this is Fiona with Fiona's Hand Analysis Readings, and today I'm going to be doing a book review on a really powerful book that I've read, The Dark Side of Cupid by Eve Lorgen, and it's basically about love affairs, the supernatural, and energy vampirism. So this book is all about when, it's like this counterfeit, twin flame, counterfeit soulmate experience where you think that you've met the person of your dreams, you think they're the one, you're meant to marry them, be with them for the rest of your life, and you realize that there's all this other paranormal activity. There might be psychological stuff going on, and just a high degree of manipulation, emotional roller coaster, like really high highs, low lows. And basically what it comes down to is, Cupid, the Roman god of love, of romance, can basically set people up in a romantic partnership, and it can be a very beautiful thing. There's also, we call it the alien love bite, is when there's some sort of entity or entities that are trying to get two people to get together in a romantic partnership, but it's extremely toxic and unhealthy, and there's high levels of drama, high levels of just chaos, and there seems to be a lot of just a lot of psychological and emotional distress going on. So they kind of break it down into there's like three parameters. There's like the first part, so you need two of these three things in order for it to kind of be considered Dark Side of Cupid or alien love bite sort of partnership. So the first one is there's some sort of magical or supernatural element. So either these things can happen right before you meet this person, things like synchronicities, omens, precognitive dreams, spirit visitations, insights, vivid dreams, feelings of deja vu, and other paranormal activity. And it seems like the relationship is influenced from, there's some sort of thing that's like orchestrating all of it. It doesn't feel like it's just the two of you that's kind of creating this thing. There's something bigger behind the scenes that's like working on all of this stuff. And basically this paranormal component is independent of the psychopathology or delusion and not part of any mental illness. But that alone, this whole supernatural thing doesn't by itself mean that there's some sort of dark matched love relationship. You need two of the three things. The second category is the emotional highs and lows and or emotional draining. So basically when you have the highs and the crashing lows, there's this sort of love infatuation or obsession that kind of starts to happen, and it could lead to emotional exhaustion where you feel like you're giving, you feel like your energy is depleted. You might be put on a pedestal one moment and then just completely knocked down. And then it just feels like it's either done by your partner or just events that are seemingly out of your control. So there's lots of drama, and tension is kind of the key in throwing you off balance. And it's this unrequited love may set in, basically as a form of emotional or psychic vampirism. So that's the second thing. The third category is the emotional manipulation and the psychopathology element. So you or your partner might have unusually controlling, manipulative, abusive, or attention-getting behaviors, such as psychopathic narcissism or like a Jekyll and Hyde duality, kind of like this bipolar on-off thing. Your partner may exhibit a paranormal controlling influence suggestive of demonic overshadowing or possession. Perhaps one of you channels a particular spirit guide, extraterrestrial, or entity that gradually takes over the person's personality and then the relationship itself. This can happen in cult groups, and cult leaders can especially fit this profile. So what makes people vulnerable to these types of relationships, these alien Levite relationships, is there's some certain things that they list. Basically, it might include someone that's financially or economically compromised, or someone that's financially well off or recently came into a lot of money or assets. It could be where a person's attracted to powerful persons, such as someone in the entertainment industry, music, religious guru or icon, or powerful people magnets. What makes you more susceptible is being involved in a healing profession, such as social work, counseling, nursing, psychic intuitive work, teaching, the giving, caretaking, and nurturing professions. Also, people involved in research into the paranormal, spirituality, conspiracy, and alternative media. And then finally, soft spoken, shyer people lacking assertiveness. So that just makes you more susceptible to getting in one of these relationships. And I definitely think I have been in an alien Levite relationship where the highs were super high. It was like, you're the one, you're my soulmate, we're supposed to get married and be together forever. And then you'd have these crashing low lows, and it was just this pattern. It was this super roller coaster, ups and downs, and there was never like a real like middle ground. It was always this one extreme or the other, and it wore me out. I mean, I was getting completely derailed from working on my stuff, my career stuff. So if it's not in check, it completely throw you off track from your mission, and it's meant to do that. I mean, it's like, if you think about it, whatever you want to call us, these entities, these extraterrestrials, or this energy that wants to interfere in your life and get you so that they are feeding off of all the drama and the high highs, the low lows, and all that manipulation and all that energetic energy, that that tension. They're feeding off of that energy. They're slurping it up. um, so it could be known as like just psychic vampirism, and it could come from the person, from the entities. um, so I've noticed that when there's kind of emotional enmeshment going on with the person, with one of their family members, like they might have an overbearing mother or father figure that kind of took the place of that. Basically, emotional enmeshment is basically where a child has to kind of become the adult, or has to kind of be the emotional support pet for one or both of the parents. And so when the child has to do that, then they're cheated out of their childhood, and they can't really, you know, be innocent anymore. And so it's always this kind of um, making sure they're taking care of the parent, they're putting the parent's needs ahead of their own, and it actually sabotages them from actually having a healthy relationship, because they're going to put that parent first. And that parent is going to almost like plug into that relationship space in a way. I know it kind of sounds weird. It's called emotional incest, and it's actually pretty common, and you see it a lot, usually with moms and their sons, but also girls and their dads. Like being daddy's little girl, where you have to, nothing is never good enough. Like, I remember I was afraid to show my boyfriends to my dad, because it was like, he's going to disapprove, they're not going to be good enough, my dad's going to be measuring himself up against them. It's like this really awkward kind of energy dynamic going on. So usually when there's some sort of enmeshment going on, that's when I feel like this alien love bite stuff happens more often, just because a lot of the people that are in this type of involvement don't know what normal is in a relationship. And I could probably speak for myself that I didn't really have good role models as far as relationships. My parents, divorced when I was 16, and both my parents got together it was kind of they got married within a month of knowing each other. my mom didn't even speak English. She was fleeing communist China, came over to California, met my dad, and they got married. She made him reverse his vasectomy. They had 2 kids. So it was just very like, it feels like that was even orchestrated. It's like my dad was with another woman, and then he meets my mom and they suddenly get married, and it just feels like it's just this something just kind of, it just feels like it was hijacked in a way, because it just feels like they're 2 separate people from 2 different planets. It's like I don't see how they could have gotten together. So yeah, there's, I kind of am looking at this from the point of view as if this planet Earth is like a farm, and there's certain things going on, like, there's programs that you're supposed to get married and have kids, and is it really in our truth? Is it really in alignment with ourselves to have kids? What is it if we were just to focus on our artwork, on creating things? Who's to say that's not good enough? That we have to have a family, we have to have kids, versus just our own creation being good enough. And I feel like if people stopped having kids, they would spend a lot more time creating things. And because it is like when you have kids, you sacrifice. And I'm not saying that this isn't a beautiful thing. I've had many friends say that like having kids was one of the best things that's happened to them. There's that too. But in a way, it's like the parents can use the kids as an extension of themselves. So they're not really living their own life purpose. They're having the kids kind of do it for them because they're too lazy or something. Or they might selfishly have kids because they want someone to take care of them when they're old, or keep them company or love them. So there's just a lot of programming that I'm wanting to bust around the whole programming around having a family, having kids. Why is it that being our own people, creating, why isn't that good enough? How can we see that as being a beautiful thing? So anyways, back to the book. These are also like, I guess these are questions that could also help you understand if these are things that, if you see them in your relationship, it could be a alien love bite. So, they're talking about having magical supernatural elements that occurred or preceded, during the love affair. This could be like vivid dreams, deja vu, precognitive dreams, inside synchronicities. Number 2, you have your emotional highs and your emotional lows, and lots of psychic draining. So, it's basically lots of drama when you guys are together or not together. There's just this chaos of energy. 3, there's emotional manipulation and the psychopathology element. So your partner or you, are you controlling, manipulative, abusive, or attention getting behaviors, like being a drama king or queen, endless talking and chatter. It's kind of like could be a sign of narcissism. Being an attention seeker. If the person's addictive and compulsive, this could be towards drugs, alcohol, sex, work, sports. The person could be controlling, jealous, emotional, emotionally manipulative, passive aggressive, narcissistic, lack of empathy, exaggerated sense of entitlement, praise seeking, constantly needs attention and superiority complex. There could also be like this passive, yes, but whiner, victim, very needy aspect. The extreme narcissist, the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde duality, bordering on demonic possession or hosting. Supernatural qualities like black magic, hypnotic control of victim, as if you're under a spell. And then just things to ask yourself, were there things that made you believe that this relationship was something out of the ordinary? Did you have very vivid dreams, synchronicities, a stronger psychic link than normal? I remember when I first met this person that I had an alien love bite with, it was super extreme, like dreams very vivid, the emotional sense of like, I know you before, I've had many lifetimes with you, very familiar. And the psychic link of being able to feel empathetically what was going on with the other person. That was definitely just this super awareness around that. And did the relationship seem like it was manipulated or orchestrated from behind the scenes? So something that kind of made you feel like you were under a spell. Did you feel a connection? Was there a greater degree of passion? Was the sex like super amazing? Did you feel more sexual with this person? Did you feel anything in your heart chakra, your solar plexus, third chakra, or other areas feel distinctly different? Because I felt definitely a tugging on my third chakra. Like this, it was like a drainage. Something was draining me. At night, I would see these black blobs that were floating in my room, and I would get really like, oh, what's going on here? And I'd feel that third chakra like being sucked, like the energy being drained out. Did you experience a heightened degree of psychic sensitivity or empathy with your partner during this love drama? Did you or your partner witness any ghostly presences, spirits, alien entities, immediately preceding the love relationship? There was one time where I apparently channeled a very dark entity, and I was saying things that were very, very not things I would normally say. And yeah, it was very damaging, I remember, to this person, and they were very frightened. And there were times where I was with this person intimately, and it definitely felt like he was channeling something. And there was times where I was like, man, it feels like I am having sex with the devil. And it would be very creepy and dark. And I remember there was like this kind of sadistic quality to it of like love equals pain. And there's just some connection to the underworld that it just felt like this is really dark stuff. And this doesn't feel, heart open, love connection. It did not feel like that. It felt very much like this person was consuming me and wanting to take over, wanting to control me. And it was like a sacrifice. It was really, really interesting. So did you or your partner experience a love obsession that was not characteristic for you or them? There's the emotional highs, lows, drama, emotional draining. Were you emotionally drained after a certain point? Did it affect you physically? Did you get ill? Did you get sick? Did you lose a lot of weight? Did events happen out of your control that kept you both from being able to meet or consummate the relationship or do more things together? Did you find yourself thinking or doing things that were out of character for you? Maybe taking greater risks? Did you or your partner suddenly become emotionally switched off or uninterested for no apparent reason? Or was there a reason for this to happen? And then the question is, how long did it take you to get over this love relationship? How long did the relationship last? So, asking about the behaviors that you kind of noticed. Was there emotional manipulation, inflicting guilt, shame, or that you were less than or bad? Or were the person controlling or abusive, overt or passive aggressive? So those are just some things that can kind of, red flags that are like, hey, this might be a dark love relationship. It might be something that is, it's your soulmate in disguise. It's a counterfeit soulmate, basically. And the thing that you have to do is you have to realize that this is a relationship that is kind of that is orchestrated, and it's just going to get you off track. And you are meant to learn from it. You're meant to step up to this and basically realize that if you loved yourself enough, you'd not be putting up with all that shit that the person was inflicting on you, and you would get out of it. And the sad part is that a lot of these relationships can feel like they're the one. They can really feel like this is the person, this is my soulmate, this is the person I'm meant to spend the rest of my life with. But it's not all, roses and rainbows and stuff like that. Like I had my rose colored glasses on the whole time because I was like, no, this person can't be that bad. And Meanwhile, it's like I'm missing deadlines, I'm getting hurt, I'm getting sick. It's like there was just too many signs, and I had to, basically come to terms that this is an alien love bite experience. This isn't a true twin flame soulmate relationship, basically. So, the book talks a lot about the different people sharing their experiences. It's actually some of it's pretty graphic. And I remember reading this at night and getting kind of freaked out, like, because it was like, oh my gosh, there was just a lot of things that were similarities. And yeah, they talk about, being aware, being emotionally aware, observing how to kind of intervene in all of this. So there's kind of a way to kind of get out of this relationship in a healthy way, and it's not going to be easy, but there's definitely hope. So I definitely got a lot out of this book, Dark Side of Cupid, Eve Lorgen, and definitely I think everyone should read this, just because people that are kind of putting up with really shitty situations and they think that, oh, pain equals love. Well, I got news for you. It's not what you think. It's not. Pain does not equal love. It's a very sadistic S&M kind of take on relationships. And if someone just comes and sweeps you off your feet and it feels too good to be true, and they're talking and your brain's on fire, it's like, oh my god, this person's like amazing, and you just get so blown away, there's something that's kind of a red flag there. It's like, it's too good to be true. And you just got to check in with yourself. You got to check in, do you feel like the energy is being drained? Do you feel tired? Do you feel like this person is manipulative, gaslighting you, being abusive, inverting things, using guilt, trying to basically put you on a pedestal and knock you right over? And some of the stuff, like they said, the psychological stuff, like it can show up as a person having borderline personality disorder traits. So, being very fearful of abandonment. This person, they might be unable to take criticism, and they're, the people with borderline have brilliant minds. Some of the smartest people I've met are borderline people, but the thing is, their mind is, everything's fragmented, and so whatever entities want to host, or I guess inhabit their body, it's more easy to do someone that's fragmented in that way, because they're going to be easier to control. Anyways, so I definitely recommend this book. It was a quick read. It's I definitely recommend it. Everyone should read it because it's powerful stuff. And just to not be deceived by something, a relationship, love connection that seems too good to be true, because it might be that way, that this is orchestrated from behind the scenes, that there's entities that are, feeding up on this, the drama that's being created from the relationship. Anyways, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time.